Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Non-Typical Nation. I'm your host, Troy Esau. On this week's episode, you're going to be following me in pursuit of mature whitetail here in my home province of Manitoba. I got really high hopes to harvest a mature deer here right close to home, so let's sit tight and see what happens. In another dry year here in southern Manitoba, and that's exactly why I set my Reconico over this water source here. There's just deer can't get enough water when it's just been so dry. There's so few sources around, so it's just definitely been a gathering area. The really nice part about this Reconico is I have little to no service in here. Probably wouldn't even be able to send a text message. And by the time I get out of here back to the truck, this thing will have definitely sent me pictures already. It's just amazing the cell service that these things pick up. Low service areas, these things fire pictures no problem. It's just awesome. The last few years here in southern Manitoba have been unbelievably dry, and the cattle guys have just been desperate for feed. So I actually talked to a local farmer here, and I had a few acres that were somewhat open here at the back of my property, and we decided to work it up and plant a bit of a crop so he could get a few bales off of it. And yeah, it actually has come in pretty good. It's still extremely dry, so hay bale numbers per acres are just way down. But you know, every little bit helps. Every 10 bales or 20 bales that a guy can get off of any given piece that is new to him, you know, helps his overall herd. So I'm just glad that I can be a part of it, and it also definitely greatly benefits the deer population in my neck of the woods. So yeah, super happy to help a farmer, and also happy to see the, you know, a few acres being harvested in my property. Today is officially get the ground blind into an elevated blind. That's the start of the process, and I'll show you the end result. that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the view. You got a nice shooting path down into the trees there. Nice grass opening. And then you got a bit of a path down in there once the leaves disappear. Once the leaves disappear, visual will be an awful lot better obviously in here, but definitely still a great start. Awesome just to get out with the family. Plan for fall hunts is just amazing to think how many memories are going to be made up in these shooting houses.
Non-Typical Nation is made possible by these great brands. Old Smokes Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous. Antler Obsession, Canada's #1 big game supplement and attractant. Tactacam, share your hunt. APA Archery, we are not the same. Badlands Canada, it's all in your approach. Dave Booth Taxidermy, Northern Alberta's foremost wildlife studio. Black Bear Remedies, proven skincare products derived from bear oil and other natural ingredients. 222 Metalworks, Reconoco Outdoors, Black Widow Innovations, Smith Game Calls, Kodiak LED Lighting, Skinner Creek Hunts, Devin Chavez Hunting, Primal Outfitting, Battle River Cree Outdoors, Pure Passion Outfitting, Alberta Bush Adventures. This segment is brought to you by Tactacam. Share your hunt.
To successfully harvest a mature whitetail takes a lot of work and preseason prep and scouting. This year was no different than any other year. Fortunately, I'm so thankful to be able to do a lot of this with family and just had absolutely high hopes going into this season as there was some really great deer walking around. Finally made it out to do a bit of summer scouting, first time out, and there's a bunch of bucks sitting in the corner over right where about 75 to 100 yards from where I got a stand location, which is just awesome to see. Cannot wait to get in the stand a couple weeks here from opener here in southern Manitoba. Just a great sign to see some bucks roaming around, still hanging out in bachelor groups together, obviously still late summer here, so very excited to see them near my stand setup locations. Hopefully we can get in there in the first few days of season and put the hammer down on a big boy.
Old Smoke's Daddy has a great cup of coffee. And I really like the ambience in your shop here, with all these wonderful racks on the wall.
Yeah, we smoke roast these little buggers. We don't conventionally roast them like the other guy. We find it brings the natural flavors.
Come on, you guys. You're always talking about racks. You gotta check out my rack. I just picked this thing up this morning. How do you like them?
Use code NONTYPICAL for 10% off your order today.
This segment is brought to you by Dave Booth Taxidermy, Northern Alberta's foremost wildlife studio.
As my fall progressed, I was seeing some really great deer and passed, on some really good deer, but not exactly what I was after. There was one particular deer that I had a couple of encounters with and was getting consistent reconical pictures of him. And I was just this was kind of the buck that I had my heart set on, and he was traveling really close to home. So I continued to pursue hard, and let's just sit tight and see what happens. November 12th here, southern Manitoba. Just got some fresh snow on the ground last night. I sat all day yesterday on this property and saw loads of deer. Unfortunately no mature bucks, but last night there was a number of different mature bucks hitting the scrape near the field edge where I'm going to sit this morning. So I got super high hopes. Hopefully we can lay the smack down on a good mature buck. There's definitely one in here that got my eye on. Would definitely like to get a look at him this morning. So conditions are perfect, fresh snow, nice and cool, so hopefully we can make it happen. Yes, that is the deer. Got piles of pictures of that deer. Oh, it's like the first 15 minutes of legal light. I know it's dark, looks dark in here, but it's actually like 15 minutes after legal light. Oh, that is a beautiful buck. That is a beautiful buck. So many reconical pictures of that deer. Oh, oh, it came together. Fired up. There is no sweeter sight than a buck that you've been chasing dead out in the field. I cannot wait to go put my hands on that deer. Oh, fired up would be an understatement. Just crawled down, gave him 10-15 minutes just to make sure he was good and expired. And now we're gonna head over and make sure and get our hands on this deer. I am so excited, guys. This is the first deer that I've actually ever taken off of this property, and he is a beauty.
If you've ever gone to the range by yourself and tried to spot your own impacts, you know what a challenge that is. Connect your Tactacam LR to your smart device, problem solved.
This segment is brought to you by Old Smokes Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous.
Thanks for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. This deer meant an absolute ton to me. You know, sometimes deer just mean a little bit more than others, and this was the case with this buck for me. This was the very first whitetail I was able to take off of my home property, and just the amount of work and patience that went into this deer just meant a ton. Just walking up to my buck. This is the buck that I have been chasing for the last 2 weeks. I've had 3 different encounters with him. Only once I got him on camera. He was about 400 yards or so with my muzzleloader, and I just wasn't willing to take that shot. 2 days later, I got right in tight on where I saw that deer. And that particular morning with my muzzleloader, he walked the field edge. So I sat about 100 yards from where I saw him come out. First day gun season, and I had him come less than 20 yards behind me in the bush. Probably about 10 yards. And unfortunately, it was so thick, there was no way I could get a shot. And he just kept working his way through until he got past me and winded me. And those 2 encounters were about 3 miles from here. And I can guarantee that that morning that he smelled me, I kicked him out of there. And he moved back to this property where I had the pictures of him originally. And this morning, it came together. Fired up. What an unbelievable season of chasing whitetails here at home. November 12th today, and I am just tickled. This is the deer I was hoping to kill. He is absolutely gorgeous. Whole bunch of character on this right side. Big swooping tine on the inside here. Just character for days. Sitting on this property, this is the third time I've sat it, and had a bunch of pictures of this deer, and finally I connected. Huge thank you to my wife and my family for allowing me to do this. Huge thanks to our sponsors for making this all possible. Yeah, just an unbelievable experience to get it done at home. Absolutely tickled. Another great year in the books.
You're truly the best. You don't have to drag. Oh, hang on, I'll get up here. Just grab his back legs. You come, fella.
very thankful for family's help. Cleaned, tagged, and loaded. Off to the skin pull. It has become a full year-long cycle, basically, that transitions from feeding, trying to keep those deer healthy, to getting those mothers who are producing fawns, give them the supplements and minerals that they need in order to pass those on to have healthy fawns. Also give those bucks a head start on their antler growth, just try and maximize their potential, keep them healthy. And as well, but then, you know, transitioning right into fall where you're chasing these amazing animals that you're hopefully gonna harvest one. And then basically once season is over, again, it transitions right back into keeping them healthy and basically giving yourself a good opportunity, you know, next year. Just to basically give these animals that full cycle of minerals just to keep them healthy, have a healthy deer herd, and basically give yourself the best opportunity to harvest that trophy of a lifetime.